A couple months ago, I made a video pitching an idea to all of you. Now, I know when you hear YouTuber and idea in the same sentence, you probably get a little concerned. It's a very dangerous combination, a recipe for disaster, because the majority of the time, it's likely pitching an NFT or metaverse Web3 project, which is always just a load of dirty barnacles. I'd sooner invest my money in the silly bands economy than anything metaverse NFT related. So this wasn't the case with this idea. It was kind of like an episode of Shark Tank where I nervously came into the tank and just told you about an idea that I thought was really good that my friends and I had. But we weren't asking for anything from you guys other than just your beautiful little noodles up here for all of the ideas that you usually give away for free. The whole breakdown of the situation was we created a Google form for people to just submit video ideas because for a long time, people have just always given ideas out for free, whether it's during Twitch stream or in the YouTube comments. And we actually have made content based around some of those ideas, or at least heavily inspired by. So we just thought it made sense to actually pay you for those ideas if we ended up using them for content. You know, it's kind of like when you take a picture of your feet and post it on Twitter. Like, why are you posting that shit for free? You know, take it elsewhere and charge for it. Like, your ideas have a lot of value. So to just drop them for free, you know, I just felt like, why not pay you for it? So we came up with this Google form where people submitted ideas, and if we used them, we had a whole payment plan that I illustrated in the video. I'm not just going to repeat myself there, but I want to talk about where that's at right now, because obviously a lot of people are wondering, you know, what's the status of all that? Have you even used any of the ideas? And the answer is no. This actually turned into a wild, wacky web of weirdness. Tens of thousands of emails came in. There were more emails coming in like it was a scene out of Harry Potter with the owls dropping off acceptance letters through the door. They were just coming in all over the place. And we've gone through every single one of those emails now. And I've actually learned something quite fascinating. It's a discovery that's so mind-blowing it's going to rival the day Isaac Newton proposed the theory of gravity. And that universe melting revelation is that money changes everything. So, what I've learned is when you put money on something like this, it no longer becomes about submitting a good idea. It becomes about submitting an idea that most likely will make you money because it's a general idea. So of the tens of thousands of emails we received, the vast majority, and I mean the overwhelming majority, at least 95 fucking percent of those emails were things like, do a moist meter on Avatar 2. Do a tier list of a type of food. Talk about pink sauce. Make a Christmas-related piece of content. Just casting the widest, broadest net so that way when inevitably I do make those videos, because they're just videos I was always going to make, a fucking moist meter on Avatar 2, I moist meter like everything that comes out. Of course I was going to do one of the biggest movies of all time, because the reason they submit it is because when it gets made, they can now argue that that was their idea. And argue they fucking have. There are people that are emailing every day wondering why they haven't been paid for the Avatar 2 moist meter. Like, fucking zoinks, Scoob. It's really disappointing, honestly, more than anything, that we didn't expect this. I don't know why we didn't foresee this, because in our heads, when we cooked this thing up in the kitchen, we put all of the ingredients together. We're like, yeah, it's a really cool idea for the community, since they're always just dropping heaters in comments, you know, why not at least pay them for that? We didn't realize that this would pervert the entire ecosystem of it, where instead of just submitting cool ideas, they're submitting ideas that they know we're already going to do, like a moist meter on a massive movie or a massive game. Another one was make a gameplay video on big game coming out. It was crazy. Like, it was really fucking wild. And then to have the gall, the chutzpah, to then argue that it's your idea and that we stole it from you is sickening. I'm not kidding. Letters to Santa Claus from 4-year-olds have more words in them than half the ideas that got submitted. There's like 2 sentences of an idea saying, make video on massive topic in the news. Make video on absolutely huge thing that just happened. Content that I was already going to make. I talk about fucking everything that happens in the world. I made an entire video going over the M&Ms no longer being fuckable and all the drama that followed from that. Like, I already cover a large chunk of everything that happens. So when people submit 2 sentences and then their PayPal link, the idea that they're portraying is one that I'm already going to do, but they submit the idea because they know I'm already going to do it. Thus, they can then argue that they should be paid for it when the video inevitably gets made. And that's frustrating. And it's more frustrating because I didn't see it coming, I suppose. I don't know why I wasn't expecting this to turn into some kind of gamified scam where people will just submit thousands of ideas on the most general topics, knowing full well that that video is going to get made without that email ever being submitted. But it just gives them an angle to try and get money out of it, which sucks. Now, it's not every email, it's just almost every email. A couple of them are just genuinely unusable. Like, there's one guy that continues to submit an idea that just says, eat a frog, and then putting his PayPal there. The dude just really wants the video to be eating a frog. So, that guy's got a very specific taste. Very odd fetish, I guess. And there's a lot of them kind of like that are very memey, which, of course, we would have expected. And there's a couple in there that are almost doable if we had infinite amount of money. One of them was to get a garbage truck empire, like literally start our own trash collection business and start collecting all the trash cans around Tampa to overthrow the local Tampa garbage truck empire. How the fuck are we supposed to do that, and what is the video? Running a business at that point? Like, what the fuck? Like, there's a lot of ideas that are, like, on that scale. Like, have you ever considered public transportation industry and making content around a newly formed airport? It just seems like some people think that this is a game of Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, and they're just submitting the ideas. It's fucking wild, the level of some of them. Completely unachievable. Now, of course, it's just the sheer quantity of emails that came in. There were a few that weren't outrageous, and they were actually in the realm of possibility. Like, they took place in this dimension on things that were physically possible. But we haven't been able to follow through on any of those yet because they also still do require a huge amount of setup. Most of the ideas that were submitted that are actually possible are still ideas that are going to take a long time to ever come to fruition if we do decide to pursue them. But we have marked those and might do something with those in the future. So if you are one of those people that submitted something that's actual fire but haven't seen us do anything with it yet, maybe it's because we're still trying to cook up exactly how to pull it off. But anyway, I just wanted to talk about this whole subject because a lot of people have asked about it over the last couple months since I haven't said anything about it because we haven't used any of the fucking ideas. But hopefully in the future, we will actually use some of them, and if we do, you will be paid for those, the ones that we do use. Also, special shout out to the couple of people that kept sending their grocery list and said that the video would be super hype if we bought their groceries for a week and made like a Mr. Beast style video out of buying their groceries. Actually kind of fucking genius. Hopefully you got your groceries regardless though, even without the content being made around it. Oh, and also one big shout out to the absolute madman, the maniac that suggested a couple times to do a bulletproof vest tier list where we each wear bulletproof vests and then we shoot each other in the chest and see which one does the less damage underneath. So like who has less broken ribs. So, you know, that what a fucking idea. Anyway though, that's really about it. That's the update on the whole crazy ideas situation. That's about it. See ya.